How's it going, everybody? So, James, I think we almost finished the chapter, but I'm not sure. Um, Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. So, it sounds like I have a lisp when I try to read the King's English. Worketh. So, where's that Bible verse in Romans? What does it say? It says, vengeance is the Lord's, Romans 2. I feel like it's 2. No, it's 12:19. Romans 12:19. The phrase vengeance is the Lord. So, yeah. Let the Lord deal with it. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive the meekness, the grafted word, which is able to save your souls. Again, the Bible is written as instruction. And the goats or the lost sheep will take the instruction over to mean they have free will to follow the instruction or not, when we all know that the Lord carries this out through his sheep. The whole process is laid out. For whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, he also justified. That's your repentant process. And whom he justified, he also glorified. And that's when you get your glorified body. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. And that all goes back to the Lord saying what? They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. So you hear it, you speak it, but it's all meaningless because it's not real faith. Because what is real faith? Faith is the tangible evidence of your salvation. It's the tangible evidence of the Holy Spirit. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. But if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man holding his natural face in a glass. Ho! For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this is man shall be blessed indeed. That is real faith, because faith without works is dead. Faith is your works of the true calling, or the true Holy Spirit, or it's the walk of the Lord turning you from the world and turning you to him. Did I roll up and skip? I don't know where I'm at. What manner he was. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and the widows, sheep to sheep, in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world, right? Striving to win the race. I don't think we need to go read that in the New Living, but it's there for y'all if you want. Daniel chapter 5, Belshazzar. This is not Belteshazzar, which was Daniel's code name from the Babylonians, but this is a king. Belshazzar, the king, made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple, which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes and his wives and his concubines are women you have sex with as a king, but they are not wives. His wives and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which were at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes and his wives and his concubines drank in them. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, of stone. In that same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand. Now, this is where the Addams family gets thing, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace, and the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote against one another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be third ruler in the kingdom. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.